So now you've finished your first week of study for the Catch-Up Psychology series, and you've taken a good look at Wundt's approach and the key features of science. Let's recap on some of those exam gold tips that you can take with you to your exam. Now, if you're asked to outline the origins of psychology or Wundt's approach, then you really do need to avoid giving a Wikipedia-style biography about Wundt. So a lot of students will be able to tell us his full name, his date of birth, where he lives, where his first lab was. But really, to get your full marks, we want to focus on the approach that he offers about human behaviour. We want to talk about his theory of the mind, so things like introspection, structuralism, and what he contributed to psychology. So quite a crucial approach. And in your exam, we're going to want to know what he did to make psychology more scientific rather than about Wundt. Another thing for you to take forward is about terminology. So use as much specialist terminology as you can in your answers. Now, we don't want your answers to be overloaded with jargon and terms with no context or knowledge demonstrated. But when you talk about something like Wundt's approach, it's going to be impossible for you to give a top-level summary without the terminology, introspection, structuralism, and you can't really outline his approach without those. So practice using these terms and perfecting a summary of Wundt's approach that could earn you about 6 marks. And make sure you plan ahead if you're not sure how to use those terms and where to use those terms. Finally, the key features of science. Now, they might seem like a small area for revision, but actually there's a lot of ways that you could be asked. There's a lot of places in your exam that you could be asked about these as well. They can pop up in research methods. They could pop up in some of your optional topics embedded within questions. You can give a good explanation of things like replicability, objectivity in a nutshell. But what you want to be able to do is give a good, detailed account with specialist terminology about what each of the key features of science are. So the best way that you can prepare for this, as well as using your resources, is to use mark schemes for past exam questions to have a look to see the type of thing that your exam board is after and what is going to gain credit.